Hi guys, welcome to a quick OCD recovery Instagram live. I'm going to be talking a little bit today, very little bit, for probably only about 5 minutes because I haven't really got time today, but I thought I'd come on here quickly as I'm currently on holiday at the moment in Spain. So I think the topic that I wanted to talk about today was Xanax, benzodiazepine, and what benzodiazepines, what being on Xanax can be like, and what are the problems with it, and why so many people go onto it. Well, I'll tell you the reason. The main reason with, as many of you know, with benzodiazepine like Xanax, what happens is it's a very, very effective drug. It works very well. That's why it's so addictive, because of it working so well. So we know that when we take those, they can often give us instant relief, which when we're suffering from anxiety is exactly what we want. So there's no wonder that they become so addictive, and they become addictive in a very short time. Now, the problem is, in lots of parts of the world, especially in the US, they're still prescribed to people, and people don't come off them because they don't take them for a short time. They end up taking them long term. Now, why is that? Well, because the risks of them are often downplayed, and people put people on low doses, and it's made out often like it's okay. It's never a good idea. Short term, in real crisis times, it's okay. It's understandable. However, in times where you're using it really long term, it becomes a habit. It very easily becomes addictive. They're highly, highly addictive. I constantly work with people who are coming off them, having been on them for years and years and years. And it's always tricky, always, bumpy, always with lots of side effects, forgetting things, short-term forgetfulness, headaches, sort of brain zapping feelings, all moodiness, depression, suicidal thoughts, everything, all different things that come in from coming off it. It's not worth it. And it's very easy to start thinking that that's the answer when people get fed up with SSRIs and being slow and side effects and how long it takes to come onto them, to get on them and so on. But the problem with it is when you start looking for that instant relief in the form of Xanax or any other of the benzodiazepine, it's at the beginning you think, this is just the break I needed. This is really what I needed. And then when you get into it, you start losing the effect of it very quickly. Or you're often on a low dose, which is a placebo effect. And it's something that is a real epidemic. It's something where so many people on it. I see it all the time. And it's something that is so misused by people and so badly recommended by doctors and by online. If you go online, especially in forums, when I used to be in a lot of anxiety forums, so many places, so many people used to say, just go on a low dose of Xanax. You'll be fine. Just go on it low dose. Not talking about any of the side effects or any of the complications or anything like that. They're just completely going, talking about sort of it as a way of doing things. And it's not the right way to go. Yes, SSRIs have all their own complications, side effects, lots of problems that you can have with those. And for many people, the effect can often feel like a placebo effect. However, when you look at them tried and tested across the board, SSRIs are always the recommended way to go if you're going to be taking meds. Taking meds is a personal choice. There's no judgment either way. But if you're taking SSRIs, it takes a while for them to start working. And then different ones work differently for different people. They won't cure OCD. They'll help take the edge off, but they certainly won't cure OCD. And often, for some people, they will feel like a placebo effect, or for some people, they will feel like, or not a placebo effect, they won't have much effect at all. Or some people, they prefer to be off them completely. That's all very, very common. I personally never took meds. There's no judgment on that either. Like a lot of people often go with a misconception that someone who didn't take meds, this person didn't have to take meds or was stronger, or someone who took meds was weaker. It's absolute crap that, if I'd known about meds and seen that there was a real benefit to them and could have worked, I would have definitely taken them. But I didn't take them because, one, I was worried about the side effects, which was probably an OCD thing at the time, and two, I just really hadn't read up so much about them, and I was sort of adamant, and I didn't really see that they were going to have a really great long-lasting results. So I kind of held back till I got into a really bad state. And then when I was in those really bad states, I'd started to realize that, a lot of it was to do with my beliefs and thinking, so I could see a way out from that position. So I don't think that I think it's very important that we look at the misconception with meds where people are saying, oh, I'm on them, that's bad, I've been on them talking about SSRIs here, not benzos, I've been on them a long time or so on. It's irrelevant. Everyone's got their own reasons for taking meds. There's no judgment either way. If it helps take the edge off or it makes you feel a lot better, then why the bloody hell not are you going to take them? It's a great thing to do. I see people that are really stuck sometimes with OCD, and it just gives them that sort of 30% reduction that gives them the energy to do their work whilst they're going through therapy or coaching. And I think that's crucial. I think it's a really, really important thing. So I think what you want to be thinking about is, with SSRIs, you can often be reading loads of drug review websites. Well, this one works, this one doesn't. Well, this one's had great reviews, and you can end up moving around all the time, different ones. Don't look for a sort of miracle, sort of magical cocktail of them that's going to bring about 90% relief, because in my experience, I've never ever seen a case of that. I would just look for something that helps take the edge off whilst you're working on yourself, on your thinking and your beliefs through therapy and coaching, because that's what gives you the long-term results. That's what leads you to a position of recovery where you can't feel as if you didn't have OCD. I can't tell the difference between having OCD or not most of the time. Sometimes it tries to come in now and again, as I often say, as it will for anyone, because it's not a thing that you cure. It's not something that goes away. It's like if you're an alcoholic, you'll notice it will sometimes bite. Maybe you see an advert for a beer on TV and you think, oh, I'd like to have a beer, or might start going through the process of thinking it. And that's exactly the same with OCD. If I walk past a hob, sometimes in the kitchen, sometimes I think, oh, did I turn it off properly? Might set fire to my house or whatever. I will think that briefly, but it never latches and clings like it did, where I used to be stuck chronically day in, day out, every minute, every second. It's a very different thing. So in terms of OCD and the benefits from meds, you want to be speaking to your doctor about that. I can't advise on medicine, but your doctor can give you advice on that. But you want to do your own research too, and speak to people with OCD, and listen to stories and different things of how people have done it, and approach it with an amount of caution and with an amount of your own general knowledge about it too. Because otherwise, like I said here, especially in the States at the moment, you see so many people going in and getting prescribed long-term Xanax, which is certainly, if you just took the doctor's advice straight off the back on that wouldn't be a great move. Now let me have a look at some of these questions. If a medicine works with your brain, they're hesitant to take you off of it. Doctors also want you to ask to be taken off, but if they don't tell you how addictive it is. Well, yeah, that's absolutely right. So many people get prescribed it, not thinking that, oh yeah, it feels good at the moment and I'm all right now, I'm starting to get results, they tell the doctor, and then that quickly becomes a cycle. Whereas in reality, what's actually happening there is, of course, you're going to feel relief, and of course your brain's going to like that. But because it's so effective, that's the exact reason it's so addictive. The same with where addiction, how addiction develops in people. When they're really, really feeling low, and feel so bad with their anxiety, with their OCD, and they start drinking alcohol, for example, a lot to get away from the feelings of anxiety. It's very easy to see how easy addiction can start there, because we're trying to get away from something, and the brain thinks, makes that connection. Oh, this gets me away and gets me feeling good when I do X, Y, and Z, so it's going to create that link. It can become a huge compulsion as well, something we are trying to cut out. Then you won't get off. Count is one of it. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so basically, basically, to sum up, because I'm keeping this is quite a short live. If you're in a real desperate situation, it's very, very easy in that moment to start considering long-term benzos. I have been in that situation where I was thinking, God, the physical symptoms are so bad. They're keeping me awake all the time at night. My heart feels like a machine gun's going off. I'm waking up drenched in sweat. When I'm running down the street in the day, I'm getting cold sweats. What the hell's happening to my body? I'm thinking, anything's got to be better than this. And then you start thinking and going through, well, maybe Xanax is the answer. And it's at this point that I always highlight to people when we're starting to consider this, that this is exactly not the move that we want to be making, but it's so understandable how we could get into that situation. Because when we're feeling chronic anxiety all the time, of course we start weighing up the odds of different things. Of course we start thinking of anything to make our life a bit better in that moment. The same as why people start weighing up drinking alcohol regularly, because they think, well, it's not as intense when I'm like that for other people. It is more intense and so on. So that's why people make those decisions, so you can understand how they get to those decisions. So the main thing that I just wanted to draw attention to here is, if you're Googling long-term benzos or even considering it, really have a think about what I'm saying in this. When you see people come off them, I have to work with many people that are coming off benzos, and it's always a bumpy road, and depending how much they've been on, it gets bumpier and bumpier. So it's something that you can do without. You've got enough suffering going on with OCD. You don't want to add that into the mix too. All right, guys, thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.